Yo, what's good, everybody? Just wanted to make this video real quick. It's something that I've been meaning to make for a while, and shout out to my homegirl Ebony first and foremost. My bad. This is something building off that wonderful post from about a week or so ago. Can't remember how long, but anyway, the one that you made about asking women to give tangible reasons why men should want to still get married in this day and age. And I thought it was a very fascinating subject, more so with the answers that were given. Sadly enough, from that post, it really showed something, about the state of affairs with people in their affairs and in their relationships. But I remember I had told you that I wasn't going to be able to give my answer, because I'm long-winded, especially when I want to give a real, concise answer. I get real long-winded. But anyway, from a man's perspective, and this is coming from somebody who is divorced, so I've been there and I've done that. I will tell you the main two reasons why men are abjectly reticent to get married, either remarried or married, period, for the first time. And this kind of goes to a system that you can't have it you can't have everything your way. That's basically what it comes down to. And when I say that, people need to remember that this, you know, things go about a system of checks and balances. We have to abide to that natural order of checks and balances. You do not get something while not giving something back in return, or losing something to balance out what it is that you got. Now, when I say all that, the main two reasons why men are just very apprehensive about getting married is because of the drawbacks of what happens when you get divorced, the legal ramifications that a man has to suffer from in the event of a divorce, and the ramifications that he has to suffer from if you don't stay together and then you have a child on top of that. Those two reasons right there are the two main reasons I could tell you. If it wasn't for those two reasons, a lot more men would be getting married. And I know it sounds like strictly on some financial incentive stuff, but when you look past the shallow anger aspect of it, and you look a little bit deeper into the situation, you may gather a little bit of better perspective about it. First of all, no man, at least, and when I say man, I'm not going to talk about people that this does not apply to. And we're not going to talk about deadbeat fathers and dudes that don't take care of this, that they don't fit into this equation. So we're not going to speak on that semantic. No dude with any sense of pride is trying to hear a court, a judge, anybody that wasn't in that bedroom during that time when he was making that kid with you, tell you that you can't be a parent to your child, and try to tell you when you can see your own creation, what you created or co-created, I should say. Ain't no real man trying to hear that. So, in the event of taking that gamble, and again, statistics show in America, marriages, you got a 50-50 shot. And, who knows if that percentage has dipped even further. Who the hell knows right now? But now, if you want to play a 50-50 shot to where things could work out, and you could live with each other, and things could work out wonderfully, and you could find that soulmate, complement one another for the rest of your lives, or things don't work out, and now you got 18 years at the very least of being treated like a complete villain to your kid. Have some person that ain't got nothing to do with you be able to dictate to you your ability to be a father to the child you help create. And on top of that, you got to deal with things like alimony, estate issues, dividing things, and for the most part, who gets the short end of those sticks? The men. The men, and I don't even hear people arguing that point. The men get the short end of that stick damn near every time. So much so that it's to the level where a man's best bet is to abstain. You know, it's almost like saying, hey, it's better to abstain from having sex than to take the risk of catching HIV. When the percentage of catching HIV is like 50%. Like, hey, it's best to abstain. Now, men are no longer falling for the whole psychological ploy either of women playing that, oh well, if you really love me then that means we're gonna be together, you shouldn't be thinking like that, and blah blah blah. That worked for a time. It worked for a time, but then dudes just started saying, look man, too many people are losing in this situation, and when you have the most to lose, you're gonna be more cautious. When it is you who have the most to lose out of the deal, you're going to be the most cautious about the moves you make. And when it comes to marriage, the man has the most to lose in the event of things not working out. It sucks to think like, oh, well, you shouldn't think like that. Well, reality kind of dictates that you have to consider it, because the reality says you got a 50-50 shot. And I'm going to think long and deep when those are the odds. Again, you can't have a system and demand a system be so obtuse in favor of one side. I'm not saying that the system doesn't need to exist, period. I'm just saying that it is so obtusely biased against the man in the situation that this is the byproduct of that system. And I don't see women, saying, hey, you know what, man, this system needs to be altered because it's unfair. So, being that there's no revolution being made against the system to change and make it more of an actual fair system, especially, again, we're talking about in the at least in the sense of having a child. We're talking about people who are co-creators. That means you're equal. But the system don't treat you equal. And again, when you get married as two halves of a whole. A lot of the times you are not getting two halves of a whole of a separation. It's not working that way. And because of that, this is the byproduct of that. Now, again, if you want to have these advantages, if things don't go right, then this is going to be the constant that exists until those types of things change. Because I can tell you, a lot of guys want to get married. One of the worst things that I see out here is just how sorely underestimated the the um the concept of a man, um what's the word, not surrendering, because it sounds like you're being forced into marriage, but you know what I mean, like the concept of a man giving himself to a woman for the rest of his life, basically retiring his lifestyle, retiring all of the advantages that he could be enjoying, you know the whole woman to male ratio that he could be enjoying, the whole living a particular life designed just to his custom made standard. He is sacrificing a lot in the name of saying, you're who I want to be with. And I think that gets sorely underestimated as well. So for a dude to want to take it there, especially in this system, if a guy is saying, look, regardless of all the bullshit that I could suffer from, if this don't work out, I'm still going to roll these dice with you. The fact that that gets so strongly overlooked and underestimated, I think that adds to the whole reticence. I think that adds to the whole thing about dudes not even, it's just, again, it's just better to abstain. So if you want to start getting married a little bit more frequently, those legal systems are going to have to be altered. You know, it cannot be completely so strong-handed against men, because men are basically emasculated by the court system. You know, you are not a father. You go see your child when Judge Judy tells you could go see your child. What kind of shit is that? What kind of man wants to hear? I'm not trying to hear no shit like that, man. You know, for real. And I mean, things like that. I think men, you know, in essence, will take a risk, a gamble. We can handle a financial, hit if something doesn't work out. You know, we're just kind of basic in our belief systems. We go, you know what, hey, shit ain't work out. You know, but I have a clear conscience in the sense that I went into this with the right mindset. Shit just ain't work out for whatever reason. You know, but to have to be like living in some type of living purgatory to where you're basically giving someone else the ability to live and move on, while at the same time crippling yourself from having the ability to be able to live and move on. That's not it just doesn't add up. It doesn't balance out. And again, this is a byproduct of that. So this is going to continue until that changes. You know, I'm not saying it has to end completely, but it's going to have to change. You know, and believe me, like I said, coming from somebody that's been there and done that, I'm going to be right here on the sidelines where I've been for the last couple of years, just chilling, because I have no incentive. I really don't. I can be with somebody, I can find a soulmate and be with them and give them my all without going to a courthouse and getting myself legally bound in the event of something not going right. I have enough wherewithal to have a will and testament drawn out so that my soulmate can inherit my legacy and my real estates and all that stuff. I don't need to be legally married. And there's plenty of dudes out here like me. Believe that. And I'll tell you how you could believe that. You're gonna believe it by the comments that you see on this post. So, with that being said, everybody bless up. I'm about to go catch Deadpool. All right, later. Peace.